Hey guys, it's Kirsten. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. As you guys know, one of the ways that I try to save money is by grocery shopping and meal planning and cooking at home and all that jazz. You can save up to $10,000 simply by doing those things. I proved that in one of my other videos. But today I figured it would be fun to show you guys some of the other ways that I try to save money. Okay, so before I break down all the different ways that I try to save money, I figured I'd tell you a little bit of a story. So the reason why I'm so passionate about budgeting was because I was kind of forced to when my husband and I first got married. So we didn't have a ton of money coming into our marriage, although we had money from our wedding and we had went on a honeymoon that people helped fund. We didn't really have a ton to be able to afford New York City. We were living in a tiny studio. We were kind of penny pinching. I didn't have a full-time job yet. My husband was in grad school, so things were pretty difficult. We had to sit down and create a really tight budget, and there wasn't a ton of room for spending extra. And when I was in college, I actually went to school with a lot of money saved up from just jobs that I had in high school. So spending wasn't really an issue for me. So this was the first time that I really had to penny pinch and budget and had to say no to a lot of things that I was able to say yes to when I was in college. However, I was pretty determined to try to change my ways because I was now the person trying to financially support another person because my husband was in grad school full-time and I needed to make the money. So while I was looking for a full-time job, I did a lot of part-time jobs and freelance gigs to try to bring in some money, but that wasn't a ton. We needed to be able to pay rent, we needed to be able to buy groceries, and there just wasn't extra for buying clothes, buying beauty products, buying things that are a little more frivolous compared to the things that were needs in our life. However, buying groceries and eating was important, so I had to learn how to be very particular with that budget and how to be smart with our monies, which is why I have all of these tips that I share with you, because I developed this plan for meal planning and cooking and all that jazz when I was penny pinching so hard. Obviously now things are a bit different because we're both working full time and we have a little bit extra to work with and we have some play money, but I'm glad that we went through that because now I have all of these characteristics and these tips that I have gathered from those years of penny pinching that I still apply to my life. So I'm very thankful we had to go through it, even though it was really difficult. So with that being said, during that time, these are some of the things that I did in order to save money that I still do today. So let's get started. Okay, so the first thing is secondhand stores, thrift shops, used bookstores, all these types of things. Goodwill are great places to be able to find items that you need that have been used but are still in great condition, and you don't have to pay an arm and a leg to get them. I've been able to find name brand items like J.Crew, Anthropologie, ASOS, all these really big clothing brands at thrift stores like Beacon's Closet in New York City. Obviously the clothes are still a little bit pricey, but paying, $15 for an Anthropologie shirt versus like $100 is a huge difference, and my wardrobe still looked great. I also love going to used bookstores. That was something I did even before I had to penny pinch. The Strand is one of my favorite bookstores in New York City, so if you are ever here in the city and need something to do, I highly recommend going because it's just miles and miles and miles of books, and it's just a wonderland. Okay, so the second one I think some of you guys are gonna get mad at me for, but I don't do any online shopping. I will go onto websites to look at different items and prices and kind of get an idea for things, but I usually like to go into the store to buy something. So for example, I've had my eye on a bathing suit at Target for like 3 weeks now, and I have to actually go into the store and try it on and figure out if I like it before buying it. It saves a lot of money, so you don't have to worry about shipping, you have to worry about that extra expense. And also, people all the time say to me that when they online shop, they just do it too much, and I just never wanted that to be a habit in my life, so I don't do it anymore. However, I will be clear in saying that there is one type of online shopping I do, which is Poshmark. It's like an app where I can sell my clothes and then with that money be able to buy new clothes. So if there's a situation where some of my clothes are bought online, then I will use that money to buy other clothes. But other than that, I don't actually use my credit card and buy clothes or other things online, I usually go to the store. All right, number 3, I like to pack extra snacks. You never know when you're gonna need something and you're hungry, and if you're out and about with friends or just exploring, or even when you're on a trip, it's easy to go just buy something because you're hungry. But if you have a snack that usually costs a really, really cheap amount of money that you bought at the store, then you don't have to worry about buying something more while you're out. Okay, a really big one and a very easy one I do to save money is I bring my own coffee to work. My husband spoils me and he actually makes me a cup of coffee every morning and he puts it in my little container and he gives it to me, which is so nice. But it saves so much money because I'm not going to Starbucks or whatever to grab a coffee every day, and I'm saving lot by bringing it. Okay, so next is my wild card night. So one of the things I do with my meal plans is I'll have a wild card dinner, and that means that I can spend it on whatever. So eating out is fun. I mean, you want to explore and try new restaurants and go to new places. So I keep that in like my budget and in my life. So there's one night a week or maybe one night every 2 weeks, depending on how we're feeling, that we'll have a wild card night. So last night we went out to dinner, or we'll order a pizza or something. And that still gives us freedom to be able to eat some yummy foods, but also stick to our budget. Also, having a wild card night helps us to save money for bigger date nights. So we like to go all out for a date night, and we'll have a specific date night budget, and honestly, we'll like blow it in one night, and we do that once a month, and it's really fun. So if you are trying to save money, I would suggest like having a wild card night to only spend eating out once a week, then saving the rest of that money for a really fun date night or a really fun night out with the girls or the guys or whatever. Okay, so the next one, I think some people are gonna think I'm crazy, but I like to set specific like appointments or deadlines for when I buy beauty products. So I don't go buy makeup all the time. I usually will do it every 6 months. Sometimes I'll go a year, which I know isn't really good for the makeup, but I don't know, it just depends on how I'm feeling. But every 6 months I'll actually go and I'll spend on just new nice makeup products, and then I won't buy again for another 6 months because I know, okay, in 6 months I can go buy a whole new set of stuff and it'll be really nice, versus buying cheaper stuff throughout every month and spending way more than I want to and having way too much. These appointments also apply for like haircuts. So I'll set like a haircut every X amount of months. Right now I'm trying to figure out a new haircut schedule because I waited a whole year to get a new haircut and that was like a tragedy. So I think it needs to be a little bit less than that. But also if there's other beauty type things that I want to do, I'll try to set like, okay, I'm gonna give myself like a certain time frame of when I can go and then try to not spend the rest of those times. And then I have something to look forward to. So if I wanna go get my nails done, I'll get my nails done and I'll wait a long time before doing it again because I can easily do my nails at home. However, if I run out of a certain beauty product, I go and I buy it. So that's like another rule. I'll either have a set time where I go and treat myself to new stuff, or if I run out of something, then I go replace it. So if I run out of a shampoo bar from Lush, I'll go buy myself a new one. Or if I run out of like lipstick, I'll go buy a new one. Okay, so next, if there are friends that you haven't seen in a while, I highly suggest just hosting them for dinner. Going out to dinner can be a little bit more expensive, especially when it comes to like buying drinks, because drinks can get so expensive at dinner. If you host somebody for dinner or lunch or brunch or whatever, it's a lot cheaper, especially if you can say to your friends, hey, will you bring a bottle of wine? We'll supply the food. That's so much cheaper than you think. You're not even gonna spend remotely close to what you would spend out at a restaurant. Plus, it's so fun to have people in your home. So if you were able to have people around a table and be able to cook a meal, which we all know is much cheaper, they can bring something else for it, dessert, wine, whatever, and it's gonna cost all of you less money, and it's still really fun. However, we know that eating out and going out is still fun to do. So if I had to choose a time where I'm actually gonna go out and hang out with people, I try to choose to go around happy hour. Happy hour, you can get so many fun deals when it comes to drinks and appetizers and stuff, and always like the best food because appetizers are amazing. So if you're looking for a time to go out, try to find a fun happy hour deal versus going out late at night. And you're also not staying out late, which I know a lot of people don't like. So if you go out for happy hour, usually out till like 7, 8. Sometimes some happy hours go till 9. And then you can come home, you can eat a quick dinner, and then just like hang out and watch TV. I think that sounds like a pretty great night to me. Okay, next, as you guys know, I'm like the queen of leftovers. So if you guys have leftovers in your fridge, try to do something with it. If you have leftover chicken, maybe throw into like a chicken Alfredo pasta. If you've got leftover vegetables, maybe fry that up with like an egg on top, and that's like a really yummy skillet for dinner. I would get creative with your leftovers, or just if you have made a few meals, then you're probably not sick of those meals yet, so you might as well just eat those meals for dinner. Try to use as much as you can, because also, if you don't, that's food waste, and we know that food waste is a huge issue in this world. So I highly suggest going through your fridge and figuring out, okay, what can I make for dinner with these? And it's creative and it's fun, and I don't know, I really enjoy doing it, so. Okay, next, I highly suggest getting a library card. I'll show you guys, hold on. I actually have library cards for like multiple libraries. I have the New York City library card. I also have the Brooklyn library card lying around here somewhere. Let's see. Oh, I have so much in my wallet. Different like coupon cards. Oh my gosh, that's probably another one. I have all these like punch cards in here for different places in the city that are my favorite, and I'll go and get free coffee all the time. So if you have like, oh my gosh, I have one more wine bottle I need to buy, and then I can get free wine at this one store, which is pretty great. So I highly suggest punch cards. And then, oh, here we go, Brooklyn Library. So with the library cards, I can get all sorts of free stuff. You can do classes, you can go to events, you can get books, movies, magazines. Also, New York City now does this thing called the Culture Pass. So you can go to museums for free, which is so cool. All right, next is host a clothing swap. So this sweater I have on right now is actually from a clothing swap. This used to be my cousin's. So if you have a bunch of clothes that you want to get rid of, but they're still in really great condition, and for some reason the store you try to go to, like a thrift store, won't take it if you're trying to sell it, host a clothing swap instead. Invite a bunch of people, have them bring the clothes they want to get rid of. Set up a store in your living room. I recently did this, obviously. And your friends can like shop for free, which is so fun. You can have like a little cute setup of food or whatever and just make a day of it. And you're getting a huge like new wardrobe for free. So I got a bunch of new sweaters, I got bags, I got, oh gosh, scarves, a bunch of really fun stuff, completely for free, and they're all really great quality. All right, we are getting to the end here. The last two, the first one is I work out at home. So as you guys know, gym memberships can be really expensive. Even Planet Fitness, you have to like, for their $10 a month deal, it's only a specific gym. If you want to go to different gyms, it's way more. So if you guys want to save money on actually going to the gym, I would suggest getting like some kind of membership on your TV. So I use Beachbody, highly recommend. Or there's like Tone It Up, Blogilates, and some of those can actually be free workouts. So if you want to work out, but you don't want to spend a ton of money doing it, also, if you don't want to have to go to the gym and like change there and do all this stuff and take a lot of time to go to the gym, work out at home. Literally change here, work out for 30 minutes, and you're done. And you save so much time, you save so much money. So I highly recommend finding a workout that you really like and doing it right at home. Okay, and the last one, which isn't very sneaky again, but it's one that I love, is pack your food for the day. So snacks, as we had talked about already, but also your breakfast and your lunches. It's gonna save you a lot of money in the long run. If you have food with you at work or school or whatever, you're not going to spend money at those places. I know for a fact that buying lunch around my building at work is very expensive. I love just salad with all my heart, but paying $15 for a salad every single lunch like kills me. So I save that for very special occasions, or if I like get coupons or something. But I try really hard to pack my lunches and to save that money for times where like I go out and eat with coworkers, because that's way more fun than just going out to buy something that's like 20 bucks and then coming back to the office and eating at my desk. Like, that's not fun. I pack lunches for that, save lots of money. Even on my Instagram, I show you guys that my lunches will cost like around $3 every single time, and that's very, very, very cheap compared to a $15 or $20 lunch sometimes. So I highly recommend bringing lunch, bringing breakfast, bringing your snacks. I don't know, bringing drinks if you want like a sparkling water or a soda with something. That's still much cheaper than shopping around where you're at. Again, the reason that I do all these different tips is I save money for doing fun things. So I like to eat out. I like to shop at fun places. I like to go out with people. Like, those things are really fun to do and they make life just interesting. But I like to have specific money for that I have saved up. Also, it makes it way more fun. So I know if I'm gonna go out and hang out with some girlfriends or go shopping at like stores that aren't thrift stores, I know that I saved up specific funds for that, and I feel really good about it. I feel excited that, look, I worked really hard to save this money and now I can do something with it. Also, if you love to travel, doing all these things will help you create like a travel fund. Instead of spending as much as you do on all the things you do, like shopping or whatever, you can actually create a travel fund and be able to take those trips that are on your bucket list. So if you've always wanted to go to Nashville, because for some reason Nashville is like a big deal right now, have a Nashville fund, save money, and when you finally hit a certain point, book that flight and go. You're gonna be shocked how much money you can save by doing all of these tips. So if you've always wanted to travel but haven't had the money to do it, this is the time to do it. All right, that's it. If you like this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up. And if you're stumbling upon my YouTube channel for the first time, make sure to subscribe. I'm going to go heat up this cup of coffee for like the 14 millionth time, and I am gonna actually go out to dinner with some girlfriends tonight because I have money that I saved up for it. So, see you guys around.